Hello and welcome to New Hope Dairy Farm, or dairy and cattle farm. Now you will notice some continuity errors. Unfortunately, I did the New Hope upgrade and it did say that a new save wasn't necessary, although if you wanted to use some of the features then it would be advisable to do it. To do a new save, which would have meant that I wouldn't have upgraded or updated the mod, but because it indicated that it wasn't necessary, I upgraded the mod, and what it did is it kind of grassed over all of my buildings, my my roads, everything like that. I've managed to clear up quite a bit of it, but as you can see in some of our buildings there, we've still got some grass coming through. I managed to work out that if I did some painting, I could kind of colour in the inside of the buildings. I just haven't managed to get these sort of edges there, but the centre is still looking normal. And then I had to do that for all of the buildings. So this is most probably why there's going to be a gap in a day, although I normally only do 6 in a week. But so all this was grass again, and then when I put down the gravel, I just gravelled straight through the building, and it took away the grass texture. And if we jump over the fence, well, it jumped too soon, didn't we? The same happened with all the calf pens and all the other calf barns and calving barns and bull pens and all sorts of things that we needed to do. In any case, we managed to fix up most of them, and yep, so far it doesn't look exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same. I'm sure there'll be little bits and pieces that I find out as we go along, but yeah, so that is, if you notice any continuity errors in terms of the road systems, and like these pieces of grass went here, but I just decided to leave them in because I kind of like them there. This was all grass as well, and there's a bit of grass in the inside there. Yeah, so that's the reason why. Well, we've pretty much done all our routine for the day. I think everything is fed. I'm just going to go back and check that all out, and then we'll see you in October. Well, you're back with me now, October, and we had some strange information. We need to go and check it up. It showed 3 calves born, and then 2 calves born and 2 calves removed because of ill health. So I'm not quite sure how many calves we've got. I think we were expecting 4. So by that deduction, I would expect there to be 2 calves in the calving pen. We'll wait and see. Well, here we go. Now there's always the risk of losing a couple of calves in the birthing process. Yeah, so we've got 2 calves, and that one is 100% and very good stats. Quite happy with that. And that is a brown Swiss, And that is also a brown Swiss. Not quite as good, but still no satisfactory. But that one there is pretty good. The mums are okay. So yeah. So it looks like we've lost. I think we were expecting 4. Looks like we've lost 2. So 2 out of 20 odd is relatively low. We'll go and do the admin on those, and then we'll move those to their pen, and we'll move the mums back into their dairy, or into the dairy herd. So let's go and have a look and see what do we have here. I think, yeah, that's good, because that is the female who's got the higher stats. And a brown Swiss bull. So it kind of looks like Caitlin has lost. Has she got it? Let's have a look and see if she's got any children here. Yeah, she does. So she has the bull. So she gave birth to the bull. She must have been serviced by the brown Swiss bull. We'll have to think about that, whether we're going to keep our bloodlines pure or not. I suppose we should. So we'll have to think about that as we go along. Alright, so let's get that. Apply monitor, change name. And this one here, apply monitor, change name. Right, and we'll get those, get my herding stick, and we'll take those into the free pen that we have at the moment. And I think we've got the first 2 calves that we have that are ready to go out into the pasture now, 3 months old. So I've got a whole plan for that as well. And then I've got a couple of questions that I've been asked in my comments, which I'd like to go through as well during the course of this episode. So stay tuned. Let's just get the routine done quickly. I'll do this on a bit of a time lapse because we've seen this before. Okay, now this makes sense, because I saw the extra 2 babies born. It looks like we forgot to get cows out here, so they were born in the field. These 2 here. Let's check the info. Not bad. and this one here was very high, so pretty good. I wonder who it was. Who was the mother? 21022. Same mother. So it missed something. Foxy we forgot to take into the... and she just did it all herself in the field. Well done, Foxy. So we'll need to deal with those. So that does sometimes happen, I suppose. Well, it happens when you don't do your job properly, and that was my fault. So that explains why I saw the extra 2 being born. It was these 2. Did we put a monitor on that? No, we didn't. So that's easy, we don't have to move anything. Oh dear, dear, dear. That's all done. Right, and I don't think there's anybody else to go in now. I could swear I checked that. Obviously not. Nirvana's 80%. And the limousines. I'm thinking that the limousines we might start winding down and just stick with Angus. We don't seem to be doing very well on the limousines. Alright, well that's that. That's the... oh, we still got to take... we don't have any more animals, so we've got 2 into the maternity ward. We've got to go and make sure there's food for them, and we'll do our feeding quickly. I'll do that offline, and then I'll come back to you and talk about the issues that I wanted to address in the rest of this episode. So we'll see you then. Well, welcome back. We finished pretty much all the feeding. Had to bring some water up for the pens at the top here, so we've done all that, and now we're going to go around and collect some milk. I think we'll still leave the buffalo milk is about 100 and just under 200 litres. We'll wait till we've got 400 or 500 litres there before we take it into the dairy. We should have about a couple of thousand litres here of cow milk, and yeah, 198, 2,000. That's a nice little daily return for the amount of lactating animals that we have at the moment. Let's go and see if we can pick up anything out of this. Any little bits of extra from the dairy animals. 500 litres. So that's not to be scoffed at. Of course, we've got the babies on their mothers there, so it's not as many. Well, not as much milk coming from there. And then there should be a smidgen in the calving barn. There won't be many there because there were only two cows in for birthing. So 2748, 130 litres, still better than nothing. And then I think we should have some cheese ready for sale. I think we have a very limited place that we can sell cheese at the moment, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. So what I'll do is I'll drop off the tanker here. We'll come and pick up those, and then we will shall we do? What shall we do? Well, let's go and take the tanker back, and then we'll come and pick those up. We can just put them on the forks and sell them wherever we need to. We should be able to pick both of them up on the same set of forks. I suppose eventually we'll have to get a delivery vehicle for our product. But this is the first fully produced product on the farm. Actually, no, it's not, because we've produced methane and that, but the first dairy products. I think we'll need to top that up as well, because we've taken a lot of food out today. A lot of TMR out today. I'll do that offline though. We're right until tomorrow or the next month, whichever way you want to look at it. Let's drop that off there, and then we'll go and pick up the cheese and then find a place to go and sell it. I think there may only be one place to sell it, so we will have to think about building a farm shop or something like that, just for some competition or some. We have to think about some competition. Whoops. So I think what I'll do is I'll push those two out. Because I don't think they'll both fit onto the forks long ways. Go. Might have to go and pick up our weight though. Alright. That's okay. Got the weights on the wheels. Right, so where can we sell cheese? Right, so we've got the time-saving stock check. Somebody did ask me about that. About having this on. So I've put it on just to have a look at it, see how it works. It's quite nice because we can see exactly what our stock is. Cheese 2,500 odd, and the maximum month is October, but we need money all the time, so maximum value 8. The value at the moment so where is that? The multi-purpose. So can we tag the place? Yes, we can. Multi-purpose buying station, that's going to be down at the bottom there, but we've got to get ourselves, as I said, a little bit of competition going in terms of places to sell. Pretty sure it's going to be down at the bottom of in the little shopping precinct, if you want to call it that. Why is it showing the other way? Where is it? Is it? Oh no, the only place we can sell it is on the farm. So there's not even a place to sell it down there. That's no good. That's no good. I don't really want to sell it to the multi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into storage just for the time being. Yeah, see, that's where you want to sell it, but I don't really want to sell it there. Not just, I've no problem with it being part of the options, but yeah, I don't want it to be the only place we sell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to most probably put in a bit of taxpayers' money in inverted commas and create a bit of a shopping precinct down at the bottom with a couple of different things. But I'll do that offline and then I'll show you. It might be an episode on its own of how we build that, just as a by the by. Right. Oh, what am I doing? It's just thrown me that we didn't have a place to sell anything, any product on this map, except if we put it in ourselves. So we will have to rectify that ourselves. But I want there to be some sort of competition on places to sell. So what am I going to do? I'm going to now. Yeah. So what I wanted to do is, let's just get out of this. Right, so I was asked, what about sibling inbreeding? And if you have a look in here, in this pen, it gives you quite a good example. We have calves with their mothers. We've taken the father out in our outbreeding, so we've taken away the ability for the female cow's father to breed with him. But what we haven't done is we haven't taken away the ability for the female calf's siblings to breed with him. So the bull brothers, so to speak. So we have to work out how we're going to deal with that. And one way, of course, is to just keep an eye on the genetics. But I think that's probably not going to be the best way to do it. Not on this system, because we can't. There's no way. We'd have to be jumping between menus and that type of thing. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to split out once the bulls are of age, so about between 6 and 10 months old, because they can breed from 12 months. So between 6 and 10 months old, we are going to put them into what we will call our steer paddock. So we will have a steer barn, steer paddock, where we will, in inverted commas, make them into steers. So we will castrate the bulls, and we will then just grow them for their beef in terms of the Anguses and the beef cattle. With the dairy bulls, if depending on their genetics, if they are top class, then we will put them into yet a separate paddock, grow them until they're about 12 months old, and then sell them on for profit. I think that's the way we're going to handle that. So we've got a couple of months to get that sorted out. Now the next thing that we have to do is, I want to create a new pen for turning out the dairy cows, the dairy heifers, so to speak. So we've got the first lot, which are going to be just about 3 months old. So I think we're going to turn those out. We're going to build another pasture at the top here, and then we'll build another pasture going down the bottom. So I think if we can get something up here, sort of going back down towards the telephone poles there. let's get that done. So this is where we're going to turn out the calves. Then I think we'll build another one down here, sort of going back down towards the poles again, and that's where we will house the steers. So that's pretty much how we're going to deal with that. So to summarize it all, so when the calves get to, when the male bulls get to about 10 months old or so, we will separate them from their pens, so from their mothers up here. We will move the beef cattle into a steer pen. We will move the cow calves, the dairy calves that are not of sufficient standard, into the same pen, the steer pen, and then we'll have a separate pasture for the bulls, the dairy bulls with good, and I suppose also the beef bulls with really, really good genetics. We'll keep them separate so that we can sell them at a later stage. So let's get these two moved over. Still look a bit young at 3 months old. Oops, I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. Haven't done that for a while. So let's get these two in there, and that's the first of the calves that I turned out into pasture. Done and dusted. So we'll have to go through all these pens and look for all the bulls pretty much every day at one stage, after a time. Still a bit of time before they need to go in. Did I move those in? Yeah, there they are running down. There's one of them running down there. Let's just make sure. Won't be the first time I've done that. No, I didn't move them. Pickles. Move selected. To trailer. No, that's fine. They have been moved in. We'll escape them. Right, so we'll just go and get some feed and get those fed up, so to speak. I did see it charging around there. Look at it, all happy to be on the grass. Bit of freedom. Should be another one around somewhere. There it is there, isn't it? Yeah. Not quite as happy as the other one. Well, I think that's where we're going to end this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And we'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio.